Pueblo City County Library District Staff Training presents BiblioCommons, the Overdrive layer. Today's learning objectives are how to search the catalog for ebooks and e-audiobooks that are for direct download from Overdrive on BiblioCommons. Instead of having a link that takes you directly to Overdrive, you can now check availability of a material and then directly check out the material from BiblioCommons without having to go to the Overdrive page. I'll also show you how you place a hold in BiblioCommons for an e-material, and I'll show you how to request a material for download, check it out in EPUB format, Kindle formatted ebook, or in e-audiobook format in WMA or MP3. So why update the system? So this gives patrons the option to log into one place and access the Overdrive collection. So as you've seen with our new catalog with BiblioCommons, our ebooks are searchable within the catalog. So instead of patrons logging into BiblioCommons and then being directed to Overdrive, patrons can just log in one place and download their materials. This also helps us display the collection more prominently in the catalog. So hopefully through this new system, we'll get more clicks and more checkouts. So frequently asked questions from patrons. This service was launched early in April, or at the end of April. And there's been a lot of questions from patrons. Many patrons are used to searching the catalog and then going to the direct link to the Overdrive page. If you don't know how to get to the Overdrive page, some people just prefer to check them out that way. They don't like the new system. The direct link to the Overdrive page is downloadables.pueblolibrary.org. Do not put www in front. It won't take you there. So if people want to go to that page, they can do so there. One of the features that is missing from the catalog is the read in your browser option. Many people use that. It allows you to read the book in your browser without downloading it. So if people need that, they should go directly to the Overdrive page. Also, many people are beginning to click on the books, the ebooks, e-audiobooks, on their devices or on their computers. They want to access them, but they don't know how to get the platform for them to read. I get many calls from people who have checked out materials, who don't have software like Adobe Digital Editions or the Overdrive Media Console for reading or for listening to e-audiobooks on your computer. They don't have that downloaded, or they don't have the app on their tablet smart device. So later, I'll show you where to find resources and instructions on how to download those materials. One of the other things that's been happening frequently is people have been checking out materials on BiblioCommons, and they have accidentally checked out the wrong format, or a format that their device isn't compatible with. And if they aren't able to fully download an ebook or e-audiobook, they can't return it because there's nothing to click on. So if this is the case, if you have individuals with this, the only way to return them is have them to directly contact me. I have the ability to go into Overdrive and return their books for them. So if you pass a patron on my way, please tell them to have their library card number ready and the names of the books that they have checked out. So after you watch this video, I encourage you to practice downloading different materials from the catalog and just see how you feel about the checkout process. This will help you be able to understand patrons' experiences. At the end of the training video, there will be a short quiz. Please fill that out for confirmation and credit through HR. Thank you. So now I'm on pueblolibrary.org. If I go up to the search menu and hover my mouse over there, you'll see a menu drop down, and you'll want to go to downloadables. Now this is where you'll find all of the handouts and resources regarding Overdrive. You'll see over here to the left, that these are the different handouts that are available to give patrons to help them get set up. So here we have the Android handout. So this is for Kindle HD, Nook HD, and Samsung Galaxy. So anything with the Android operating system that's a tablet, you'll want to give this handout. Next, we have Step-by-Step Kindle. Now, this is only for Kindle e-readers, so Kindle devices that have e-ink technology that do not take apps. Above that, we have the iPad directions. So this is for iPad, iPhone, iTouch. This runs the iOS system, so they will need an app to download that. Above that is Nook and other EPUB readers. So these are simple e-readers that need connection to transfer the books via the computer. Over here to the right is the Overdrive link. If I click on that, you'll see it takes me to downloadables.pueblolibrary.org. Patrons can sign in here, and you'll notice at the top there is an account button. They can view their account there, all the books that are checked out. Next, we're going to go into BiblioCommons. I'm already logged in. And I'm in MyPCCLD. Here, I'm going to go ahead and search for an author. I've searched for Maeve Binchy. You'll see here that Maeve Binchy books come up, and you'll see the first one is a book, and the second one below that is an ebook. To narrow my search, I'm going to go over to the left-hand side to the faceted search under books and narrow it down to ebooks. You'll see there's 14. And here I can view the different books. Now, Chestnut Street is her newest. If I click on availability, you'll see here that there's a holds list for this book. There's 2 copies and there's currently 3 people with holds. If I'd like to place a hold, I'm going to request this download. You'll see to the right that it says which formats are available, and it has my email address, which is connected to my account. When I'm ready, I can click place hold. The book has been placed on hold for me, and I'll have 72 hours when that email is given to pick up my book. And you can see underneath my holds under MyPCCLD that the book is there, and I'm on position 4 on 2 copies. When it becomes available, I can go here to check it out. I can also cancel the hold by clicking the box and clicking cancel. Next, I'm going to check out another book. I'm going to search for the same author, for Maeve Binchy. Just like I did before, I'm going to go over to the faceted search and narrow my search down. I'm interested in checking out The Copper Beech, so I'm going to click on Check Availability. Before, when you clicked on Check Availability, it used to take you directly to the Overdrive page, and it used to say something else like click here to access, and that's how you knew it was an Overdrive book. Looks like here 1 of 1 copy is available for me to check out. I can click over there, or I can click on the title to view the whole record. Next, I'm going to request this material for download and select, in this case, I'm going to select Adobe EPUB format. Now, I'm on my personal computer, so this file will download if I click right here, or download up above, will drop down on my web browser and then open in Adobe Digital Editions. You'll see very quickly that the file dropped down for Copper Beech. Normally you would click open here and it would directly open into Adobe Digital Editions. In my case, I'm going to restore my web browser down, hold down my left click on the file as you see here, and then drag and drop it into Adobe Digital Editions. Now, if you don't know how to set up Adobe Digital Editions, please look up those directions. You can read the book right here, if you so desire, or from this platform, you can transfer it to another device. So if you go up to the top to My Library to go to Library View, there's the book. Now I'm going to plug in my Nook Simple Touch. It's a Nook e-reader, and I can transfer this book to the Nook. I've plugged in my Nook. You can see at the bottom my computer is recognizing it. And just there, underneath devices, you can see my Nook appeared. Now I'm going to drag and drop the book into my Nook. So I'm holding down my left click on the book cover, then drag and dropping it into my Nook to read. Next, I want to properly eject my device. I go down to the bottom to the tray and select Safely Remove My Device, Eject Nook. After I eject my Nook, I can look at my Nook, open it up, and you'll see at the very beginning that it has the book, The Copper Beech, checked out to me, and it's listed there in my library on my Nook. So next, I'm going to show you how to check out an Amazon Kindle formatted book. You'll notice at the top here, I have Amazon.com already open in another tab, and I've logged into my Amazon account. Please make sure and do this before you check out a Kindle formatted book. I'm going to return to BiblioCommons and search for another author. In this case, I'm looking for Susan Mallery. She has many ebooks. I'm still going to go ahead and go down and to the faceted search to narrow my search. I'm going to check the availability. Looks like Before We Kiss. That has a holds list, and I want a book right now, so I'm going to scroll down and look at halfway there. It has 2 of 2 copies available, so I'm going to click on the title, then request this material for download. We want Kindle format this time, and this is for Kindle e-readers. If you have a Kindle app or a Kindle itself, you can do this on your device if it is a tablet. So even if I have an iPad, I can get the Kindle app and authorize it with my Amazon ID, and the book will be delivered there. So I'm going to click download here, and instead of the file dropping, it's going to take me into Amazon.com, and that's why I logged in already. So this is where I get my library book, but first I have to decide where it's going to be delivered to. So if I click on that drop-down menu, you'll see I have many devices registered with my Amazon account, but I'm going to click on Transfer Via Computer because in this case I just have a simple e-reader. So I'm clicking on Transfer Via Computer and Get Library Book. Here it's asking me where I want to have it delivered. I'm having it to my Kindle via USB. And very quickly, just like before, you'll see the file drop. And just like I did before, and this is particularly important with Kindles, I'm going to drag and drop that file, hold down my left click on that file, and drag and drop it onto my desktop. I'm going to minimize my web browser and plug in my Kindle. You can see at the bottom of my screen on my taskbar that my Kindle has been plugged in. I'm going to open my File Explorer and open up my Kindle with a double left click. Now there's lots of folders in your Kindle, as you can see here, but the most important folder in our case is the Documents folder. This is where we need to put the book in order to read it on our Kindle e-reader. So I'm going to go to the book file, hold down my left click, drag and drop the book into my Documents folder. When I open my Documents folder, you can see there is my book halfway there. Just like with the Nook, I'm going to properly eject the book. So So I'm clicking eject. Now it's safe for me to unplug, and when I unplug that, I can see my book at the top of my titles list. Next, I'm going to return to my catalog. I'm going to check out an audiobook. Now it's important that you have the Overdrive Media Console downloaded to your computer before you check out an audiobook. You can see it's right there on my screen. Now remember to go to that web page, to pueblolibrary.org/digital media, to find the directions on how to do this with audiobooks on a personal computer. It's under borrowing audiobooks. Here I'm going to search for James Patterson. I'm going to narrow down my search by going to audiobooks, then selecting downloadable audiobooks. Now, downloadable audiobooks will include mostly Overdrive, but you'll also see sometimes Hoopla books available, and it will say access on Hoopla. I'm not seeing any of those. They look like they are all Overdrive at this time. So I'm going to check the availability of Gone. The site is connecting with Overdrive and it's seeing that there's holds right now. So I'm going to try a different book, Cross My Heart, and it looks like there's 3 of 3 copies available. I'm going to click on the title and then request this book for download. Now you'll see there's 2 formats available. There's WMA, which is for Windows only. It will open up on your computer in the Overdrive Media Console app, but you won't want this file if you are using an app on your iPad or Android system. It's for Windows only, so if you're using a Windows 8 machine, it will work. In my case, I want to select MP3. That gives me the option, I'm on my computer, to transfer it to my iPad or other device, or my iPod. I'm going to check this book out, and now I'm going to download it. It's going to drop the file right below here, and you'll notice the Overdrive O has popped up. That means when I select open, it will automatically launch the Overdrive Media Console. I'm going to click OK here, and yes, I want to create a folder. Now there are parts of my book listed. It takes a while to download an audiobook. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to begin downloading. As this downloads, let's think about how we return materials, return books on the computer. It's different with an app. So here I'm going to go back and look at Adobe Digital Editions. Here is the Copper Beech. I'm going to right-click on this book cover and then go down to Return Borrowed Item. Remember with Overdrive that you have 10 checkouts, so when you return one, it does make a difference. Now with the Nook, the files will still be there, but once the files have been returned, it will connect with the Nook and I will no longer be able to open that book. With Amazon.com, I'm already logged into my Amazon account, so to return my Kindle book, I go to my account and then hover over Manage Your Content and Devices. It used to be called Manage Your Kindle. When I open this up here, you can see that anything that says borrowed or borrowed item expired are materials I've checked out from the library. Right next to the material, you'll notice that there is a box with 3 little dots. I checked out halfway there just a moment ago and transferred it to my Kindle. To return it, I'm going to click the Actions button and then go down to Return This Book. So now you can see it's removed from my account, but if I have an item that's expired that I no longer have access to the files, I can also click on the Actions button and delete it from my account. So remember, all books will automatically expire after 21 days. If you need to return the book, delete the files from your Kindle, plug your Kindle back in, open the Documents folder, and then right-click on the book. So I right-clicked on halfway there and clicked Yes to delete it. That will remove the files from your device. You can do the same thing with your Nook. To practice, please log in to BiblioCommons by going to pueblolibrary.bibliocommons.com. Thank you for attending this training. Please contact Becca Reed at rebecca.reed@pueblolibrary.org or extension 637 for any questions regarding the Overdrive BiblioCommons layer. Thank you for attending. Please take the quiz to get credit through HR for attending this online training.